Veni, vidi, vici. I came, I saw, I conquered. It was in Turkey that Julius Caesar uttered those immortal words. These days it seems like Turkey's being conquered mostly by tourists, especially here on the Aegean coast. But in a country larger than France and Spain put together, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to escape the hordes. Somewhere. Sandwiched between Europe on one side and the Middle East and Asia on the other, Turkey is a vast country with a population of 60 million people, most of whom are Muslim. My journey begins at the Roman city of Ephesus. Then I travel to Fethiye, where I board a yacht bound for Olympus. From there to Safranbolu, before heading to Garame in the heart of Cappadocia. Then east to see the wonders of Nemrut Dağ, and north to the Kachkar Mountains at Artvin near the Black Sea coast. Ephesus is one of the largest and best preserved classical sites in the world, and its great theater dates back to around 700 BC. It took 70 years to build this theater and 50,000 slave laborers to do the job, and it holds 24,000 people, and the acoustics are still really great. If I stand here and say, "Does anybody have any traveler's tips for Turkey?" she can hear me over there.
Travelling in Turkey is fantastic, but being a woman you have to realise that you're going to be hassled a little bit by the men, the local men, particularly in the cities. But it's a great experience.
People are really good with languages. If they don't speak English, they usually speak German or French, and they're willing to go next door to the next shop or something and get their friend that does speak English to help you out. And there's just no problem at all.
See what I mean? Ephesus was a powerful and influential city. The great theater was the center of attraction for wealthy Romans. Thousands gathered to watch plays and gladiators fighting. How many tourists come to Ephesus every year?
You know, every year, also it depends of the years, we have more than 2 million the visitors.
Really?
Yes.
Why is it that they're so drawn to this city? I mean, I can see it's so beautiful.
You know, the Ephesus city was one of the well-preserved of the city.
Of the classical cities?
Yes, yeah, I mean the classical cities. And also you can see behind us
the library. It's beautiful.
And to the right side
what
and
was
the
here?
left side. Yeah, on the right side and the left side there was a shopping area.
Shops.
Shops. The first floor, the shops, the second and third floors was the living area.
And who came here? I mean, on a typical afternoon, who would you see walking here?
Yeah, during the Roman time, the men and the slaves.
Yeah.
But sometimes the wives and the children was the shopping in here.
But was that rare for the women to come?
Of course.
And the men, did they really wear togas?
Yes, as the togas.
These houses belong to wealthy Ephesian families and have survived remarkably intact. Many had private pools and baths. The running water kept the houses cool in the summer. In winter, they were warmed by underfloor central heating, a Roman invention. All the houses were richly decorated with frescoes and mosaics, which are currently being restored. From Ephesus, it's a 7-hour bus journey to the south coast and Fethiye, where you can charter a yacht to take you further around the coast to Mount Olympus. This part of the Mediterranean is called the Lycian coast. It's renowned for its secret coves and beaches, and many can only be visited by boat.
Hi.
It's easy to charter a boat in Turkey for a week, or if you don't have the time or the money, the best thing to do is hook up with a couple of people, split the cost, and then you pay anywhere from $30 to $100 a night depending on the boat, and if that's still out of the range of your budget, you can always offer to do the washing up. That's my boat. It's cheaper to hire a boat in Turkey than in any other European country on the Mediterranean coast. The boats are called gullets, and the thing to do is charter one for a few days at a time and stop off at various beaches and ruins along the way. The ancient city of Arakanda is one of the best preserved sites on the Mediterranean coast. My English guide, Oz, who's been visiting Turkey for many years, offered to take me around the ruins, which can be reached one day sailing out of Fethiye.
What's that smell?
I think it's pine tooth, actually. So, this is Arakanda. Absolutely wonderful.
Have you been here before?
Yes, I have. This is one of my most favourite sites.
These classical ruins all over Turkey. I mean, I just didn't expect to see so many of them.
I think most people tend to.
Yeah.
I think most people tend to think that sites like this
Are
are
in
actually in Greece
right,
or
Italy,
Italy.
yeah.
But in actual fact, I think Turkey actually has more ancient sites, classical sites, than any of those countries. I've lived in the UK all my life. My parents happen to be Turkish. So because of the fact that we have, via the family, relationships in Turkey, I sort of come here regularly. But as with most tourists, and I consider myself to be a tourist, I fell in love with it.
At stop-offs along the coast, small boats hover around the gullets selling local handicrafts. The best time to visit the Lycian coast is in spring or autumn, when you can avoid the big crowds and the hottest weather. That's Mount Olympus over there. And I'm off to see the ruins of Olympus over there. Ruins. More ruins. In fact, the forest has all but reclaimed Olympus. Travelers come here to hike among the ruins and escape the heat of the beach. Today, the theater is one of the few clues remaining of this once great city. Marhaba. Do you know where Kadir tree house is?
200 meters up.
Okay. Teşekkür ederim. Yeah. Teşekkür ederim. Teşekkür ederim.
The tree houses can be found just 10 minutes walk from Olympus and the beach.
Are you
I am Kadir.
Kadir? You're Kadir.
Welcome.
I want to see your famous tree houses.
Very dangerous place here.
Yes, dangerous.
Yeah.
I like danger. The penthouse. Playhouse. Doll's house. Honeymoon suite. So long as I'm in Turkey, this is where I'm staying. The harem house.
With around 20 tree houses, there's room for over 100 people.
Got my sleep sheet. Don't really know where to put my toothbrush, but it's very charming. It's only $7 a night with food, and really, honestly, I could sleep anywhere right now.
Every evening, a huge homemade meal is prepared around the campfire. It's a good place to pick up stories and tips about traveling in Turkey.
The moment I got into Turkey, it was just like, wow, this is just something I had never experienced
Really
in my
different.
life.
Like,
It was
what
totally
about
different.
it feels really
Sexism is really radical. Especially being a young woman. I mean, we were traveling with a guy. Luckily, he at the last moment decided to come. If he hadn't been with us, we would have, on numerous occasions, we would have come into problems.
Would you come back here without a guy? Would you come back here just traveling?
I'm coming back without girls.
Is there anything that anything that's happened that you'll always sort of...
Well, when we arrived, we got off the boat at Samos. We were expecting to go in a bus or a taxi or something, and it was a tiny little black car, and there's 5 of us, there were 2 of them. So we shoveled 7 backpacks in and everything. We tie them down to the boot and everything. They're sticking out everywhere. And we're looking at this car, and the car actually said, well, when's the next car coming? So he looked at me and he said, well, what, do you think that 7 people can't fit in here? And I said, no ways, it's absolutely impossible. And he said, this is Turkey, anything's possible.
At around 10 o'clock every evening, for just a few dollars, you can hitch a tractor ride to Mount Olympus in search of the chimera, the eternal flames. It takes a couple of hours with a stiff 30-minute climb at the end, but it's well worth the hike. Ancient peoples believed the flames were the fiery breath of a monster, part lion, part goat, and part dragon.
That's it. I think it's out.
You need a big lighter now.
Nope. That's incredible. God, no wonder they thought it was part dragon. Ow, does it? There. Just comes right back.
The more scientific explanation is that gas, based on methane, ignites with the air as it seeps through crevices in the rock. Since classical times, the chimera has attracted curious adventurers who could see the flames from ships way out at sea.
That was a very good night's sleep for only $7. I wonder where the bus station is.
The nearest bus station to Olympus is at Antalya, from where you can get to most other parts of Turkey.
Bir bilet isi tur yorum. I want a ticket to Safranbolu. Safranbolu. Yeah. Yes, you have. Bir bilet kaç liras? How many liras is a ticket to Safranbolu? You have to.
Moment.
He has to make telephone call. That's 1 million.
And 1 million change.
That's 1 million. And here's I have smaller money here.
Small money, yes.
That's
100,000.
100,000.
200,000.
200,000.
300,000.
300,000.
And
400,000 and 500,000.
Yes,
A million.
500,000.
500,000. How many dollars is that? That's
Maybe $20.
maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. Here's your 1,500,000.
Yes, you understand.
I can't keep all these zeros. Too many zeros.
Yes, many zero. Millionaires.
Millionaires, yes.
Neyse var Adana var Adana Antep Adana Antep Adana Antep Alanya
Safranbolu? Yes. Where? Safranbolu? Which bus? Autobus? This bus, Safranbolu. Teşekkür Coffee, fruit juice, meyve suyu, water.
For long journeys like this one, buses are the best way to get around. They're cheap, convenient, and very clean. The roads are good too, so long-distance hauls aren't too exhausting. The journey to Safranbolu can take as long as 10 or 12 hours, and you'll have to change buses along the way. In the 18th century, the wealthy Ottoman families of Safranbolu built many spacious mansions of mud brick and wood. At the time, the Ottoman Empire controlled large parts of Eastern Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. The architectural legacies of this empire are among Safranbolu's main attractions.
$0.10.
Safranbolu hasn't been overexploited by tourism yet, and here you'll find a glimpse of the real Turkish way of life where traditional trades and crafts are still practiced by local artisans and farmers as they were in Ottoman times. Try and be here on a Saturday, market day.
Nerede? Animal market. There?
Böyle.
Okay.
Şimdi oradan geldi bana. Oradan geldi. Anlamaz. Sen bana sorsana. Sana sor.
Sizin arkadaşlar burada.
There they are.
Kameraya bak.
Sen de gel yanıma. Gel. Annesine kırayım. Gel. Bir çek annesine kırayım. Köye götüreceğim ben. Vereceğim böyle hadi. Ölüyorum böyle çare.
Central Anatolia is the agricultural heartland of Turkey, and places like Safranbolu are important market towns.
Merhaba efendim.
Merhaba, çay?
Az buyurun.
Çay?
Kaşık o kaşık.
Efendim.
Öyle mi oluyor? Kaç lira? Şimdi gençleyeceğim. Bunlar ben parasını alacağım.
Başla diye soruyorum.
Kaç lira?
Kaç lira?
Kaç lira for beer? For what?
Bir tanesi.
Kaç lira?
Devamlı yapanlara soralım. Kaç lira?
25 million.
Milyon.
25 million.
Bir tane.
25 million.
İkisi.
That's around $200.
Bu daha fazla.
Whereas this one is probably a little bit more.
At the metal workshops, you can pick up some unusual things, such as this small barbecue.
Kömürü buraya koyuyorsun. Buraya açıyorsun. Üflüyor tabii.
Fire.
Bunu buraya koyuyorsun. Cızmız. Blue var. Tamam.
Hamburger?
Tabii. Hamburger.
Yeah. Kaç lira?
5.
5?
5.
$6, $7.
Ben de alıyorum da. Buyurun efendim, buyurun.
Cherries. Cherries. Çok güzel.
İzmir.
Turkey, many types of cherries. They're great because you can boil the water down here and boil water in here with tea. And then, so this is a very strong pot of tea, and then you add the hot water for people who like weaker tea. Put a 2-in-1 kettle teapot. And I've done my research. This is 700,000, right? It's 700?
Evet.
Yeah.
Ya.
Right? About $10. I think these are great. These are wonderful.
Anlamıyorum ki.
It's güzel. Güzel.
Güzel, evet, çelik.
Well, after all, you can't come to Turkey and not experience the pampering of a Turkish bath, otherwise known as a hammam. Every town in Turkey has at least one hammam. All that for just $3. Wow. Next, I traveled southeast to Garame in the famous Cappadocia region, which gets several mentions in the Bible. It was home of one of the first Christian communities in the world. Cappadocia, an area bordered by 10 extinct volcanoes, is one of the most visited parts of Turkey. I was off to the land of the fairy chimneys. Thousands of years ago, Garame and its surrounding villages were settled by people who made their homes by burrowing into the soft rock. Around Garame, there are entire valleys of fairy chimneys, so called because the wind whistling round them sounds like fairy voices. When threatened by persecution, early Christians would retreat to vast underground cities for months at a time. One of the most dramatic examples is the city of Kaymakli, which had a population of 20,000 people. A personal tour of the tunnels will cost you only a few dollars, and the guides are very informative.
As we enter the American city, we already saw the place where they kept their animals.
They're stables.
Stable right there. So we are second level right now, the place for one family living space.
This is the living space.
This is the living space. So here they had this storage.
Oh, what did I just step into? What's that?
That was the pot standing.
Oh.
The place for their wine and waters.
Oh, okay.
And every single family has got such a place. This is just for one family.
Okay.
Here you can see the ventilation shaft. From the top. So every floor has been connected to the shaft. By the circle, they can have the fresh air coming in.
Ancient air conditioning.
Yes. So they have plenty of winery. This is just one of them. Here, where they had the place. Pressing grapes.
Oh, so they made the wine here.
They made the wine.
And they stored it here.
Yes.
So how do people keep warm?
Well,
Drink a lot of wine.
they might do that. Exactly. So what they did, they had an oil lamp, lighting, and keep warm.
Oh, that's good. This is the kitchen.
Yes, this is the kitchen.
And how do you know it's the kitchen?
Look at the stone down here.
What's that?
Look at the holes on it. So that was the place where they crush their garlics.
Oh, it's a mortar and pestle.
Exactly.
Oh, great.
And the other reason, it's black. So because of smoke. And, well, it's supposed to be smoky down here. But all the smoke will be absorbing by the rock. By the volcanic soil.
Oh, I see.
So it won't be any problem.
I see. It's really an amazing place. It's incredible. It's very sort
It's
of
hard to believe.
depressing, though, I think. It must have been very difficult to live down here. And I'm feeling a little claustrophobic, so it would be great to go.
Gorome's tunnels attract plenty of tourists, but few venture far out onto the plains of Cappadocia.
Good? Can I see? Smell it? Smells good. Im. I can drink? Yes? Yes? Yes? I can? Okay. There's poo-poo in there. No, thank you.
The methods may be traditional, but Turkey is the biggest wool producer in Europe.
Teşekkür ederim. All right. Oh, I got a little one. Not easy. Not easy. Oh, we can do it together. Here, I'll do this one. Hi. Oh, what's that? Oh, look at the lambs. Merhaba. Merhaba. Guley, guley. Okay.
At Cappadocian weddings, it's traditional for the single women in the bride and bridegroom's family to henna their hands and feet before the ceremony.
It feels like cold mud. Supposedly this lasts for about 2 weeks unless you wash it off right away, which is what I might do.
Weddings in Cappadocia last 3 days, and the henna ritual takes place on day 1.
Ah, it's cold. Feels good. Great. Yours?
The groom arrives to claim his bride. This bride is just 16, and as part of the wedding tradition, she's escorted to her new village while her mother remains at home to weep alone. Saturday is wedding day in Turkey, and you're bound to come across a traditional wedding convoy as the groom brings his new bride home. After throwing coins to the children, the bride is quickly whisked away, and the men prepare to dance in celebration.
I didn't have the patience to leave those things on my hands, so it looks like just enough dye like I ate spaghetti with my fingers. But I want to see what it's going to look like on my feet, so they're going to stay on for a while.
While the men dance, the women all gather at a nearby house to offer traditional good luck gifts of money and fresh honey, which brings prosperity to the bride. Hospitality is an honored tradition in Turkey, and I was made to feel very welcome at the wedding festivities.
So the bride and all the women are in this house, while the men are all over in that house dancing. And she won't see him again until tonight, when the women bring her to him. And then you can guess what's going to happen.
If you're looking to buy a carpet, then do it in Cappadocia, as you're likely to get less hassle than you are in Istanbul.
Merhaba.
Merhaba.
Are you a tourist, or you work here, or?
I'm the owner.
You're the owner?
Yes. How are you?
Good.
How you got that color on your...
Oh, I was at a wedding and they hennaed my feet.
Oh, that's good.
It hasn't washed off. I don't think it will.
Oh, that's great.
So listen, I've heard this is a great shop. I don't want to get hassled.
Thank you.
I just want to find out, learn something about carpets, because I'm
You have time.
It's a bit overwhelming. Yeah, just the sort of basic points.
Take it.
Yeah? Okay. Definitely the most sort of laid-back carpet seller I've met so far.
Oradan bir tane nide kartı getirin bakalım.
So this is the cheapo one.
This is the cheapest mass production from Turkey. Oradan bir doba getirin.
Prices range anywhere from $40 to $4,000.
Aç yanına bakayım.
This is a not made for mass production carpet.
No.
This one
we
here.
call project style carpet. That's meaning top quality new.
Yeah.
Look how tight is this.
So you want to look at the knots to see how tight the knots are.
When it is a new carpet, yes. Look at this. Look at the knot.
It's loose.
Here.
It's loose. It's
yeah.
loose and it's big.
Yeah.
Okay, whereas this one is tight and small, so that means it's better workmanship
Exactly.
than this. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at this one now.
So this is an old carpet?
Yeah.
Now how can I tell that this is an old carpet?
Yeah, that's first you have to look all the colors. Okay?
Now are these chemical dyes or are these natural dyes, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter when it is original. The natural dye, of course it is better, but when she decided to put some chemical dye inside, okay, that we don't care. That's her choice to put that colors inside. We're looking originality and unique creation.
So this carpet is all natural dye?
Natural dyes. As you see, this is the meadow root.
Meadow root.
Meadow root.
It's a plant, a red plant.
Root colors, yeah.
It's beautiful color.
And the green is vine leaf.
A vine leaf.
Vine leaf. And the white is turned to the cream with the straw.
Straw. Walnut makes these colors, wild rose makes these colors, red root makes these colors, oak apple makes these colors, and tobacco leaves make these earth tone colors, and what makes blue?
The indigo.
Indigo.
Let me show you. Let me show you. It is yellow and it turns blue.
Ah, it oxidizes.
Yes.
It turns
that's
blue.
true. Yes.
Right before your very eyes. Good thing I don't have my credit card on me.
East of Cappadocia, you head into more remote parts of Turkey. From Göreme, it takes around 7 hours to travel to the mountain Nemrut Dağ. This is eastern Anatolia. The landscape changes and becomes more mountainous and sparsely populated. Kartas, a dusty town at the foot of Nemrut Mountain. The population's almost entirely Kurdish. In all, there's some 10 million Kurds in Turkey, a significant ethnic minority who've only recently been granted the freedom to use their own language. It's here that you can pick up a minibus, which for just a few dollars will take you the 40 miles up to the mountain top. It's best to visit Nemrut Dağ between May and October. The rest of the year, the road is impassable in the snow. The attraction of Nemrut Dağ is the colossal statues on the mountain's summit, placed here by a pre-Roman king. Earthquakes have toppled the heads, but it's still an awesome sight.
This is Antiochus I, Mr. Ego himself, and even though he wasn't a very powerful king, he had delusions of grandeur, thought himself a visible god, and surrounded himself by them. Antiochus claimed to have both Persian and Greek ancestry. So this is Hercules, which is the Greek name for the god, but it's also called Artagonus, which is the Persian name for this god. This is Zeus. In fact, it's the largest Zeus sculpture in the world, and you can see the fusion of Persian and Greek styles because he's got the Hellenistic face, the smooth lines, the parted lips, and a Persian hat. This guardian eagle was set here to protect the tomb, and Antiochus decreed that if his cult were not celebrated twice a month, then the gods would wreak their vengeance.
Southeast from Nemrut Dagh, Kurdish rebels are waging a war of independence. If you're heading this way, keep to major roads and try not to travel at night.
Majority of backpackers that we've seen have almost cut the country in half, saying, yeah, I've seen the whole west coast and that's the whole of Turkey.
But it's not. There's a lot more to offer on this side as well. And we've had no trouble.
No,
just keep your wits about you.
Well, the most interesting thing has been the number of times that our group has been stopped for military checks. I mean, it's been a combination of the local gendarmerie, the army, and various military police. One day we were stopped 13 times for checks. And as a result of that, I realized I would never travel in this part of Turkey on my own without a Turkish-speaking person.
I think I'd be more cautious about going further east because I think what we feel about the area is based on hearsay rather than solid facts, and I'd be more careful about risking possible kidnap or whatever around Lake Van.
The last part of my journey takes me to the Black Sea coast and the remote town of Artvin in the Kachkar Mountains. As you go north, the climate gets cooler. The rain creates an almost subtropical look to the hillsides that are covered in tea plantations.
This stuffed vine leaf is called a dolma, which means stuffed. And they're usually stuffed with rice and sometimes meat. And this pepper, dolma. Also dolma because it's stuffed. And this Turkish minibus is called a dolmuş, which also means stuffed. And there's no set departure time. The driver leaves when he thinks that the bus is stuffed.
Dolmuses travel between all the major towns and villages on the Black Sea coast every 5 minutes or so. Journeys are cheap and you can hop on and off at will. I arrived at Artvin near the Georgian border in time for its annual 4-day festival. The Kafkasor Festival celebrates the movement of livestock to summer pastures. The highlight is the day-long bullfighting in the main arena.
I can wear your hat and you can wear the umbrella. Teşekkür ederim. Good hat, no? That is a big bull.
Yeah, number 13.
That is a very big bull.
It's a knockout competition. Whichever bull backs down first loses. All the bulls have their horns filed down to prevent them from doing too much damage, though things do occasionally get out of hand. If you're traveling in the summer months, you'll see tea pickers all along this part of the Black Sea coast.
wow factor depends on how many times you find yourself saying wow when you get to a place. And Turkey, surprisingly, is much higher on the wow factor than I had expected. I thought I was going to find sun, sea, ruins, classic tourist stuff. Turkey has all of that, but I think what makes Turkey such a wonderful place to visit is the hospitality. I've been offered tea everywhere, on the street, in the livestock market, in the sauna, in the t-shirt shop, in the gas station, and the other day I was in the supermarket, standing in the aisle, looking at some toothpaste, and a woman came up and offered me some tea. In the supermarket. Wow.
Thank you.